Hey everybody, welcome back to our third official edition of Coffee Time, although I'm switching it up. First of all, it is almost 1:30 Eastern Time, my time, so not the morning time I've been shooting for, and then I also have tea today instead of coffee, but we had an unexpected trip to Med Express last night. Our youngest, who's almost 2, decided to jump on our bed, and he bumped his eye on the headboard, and so we had to, go have it glued, just normal stuff in our house. But anyway, so a little bit later today, but that's okay. I've had something on my mind that I mentioned before that I've wanted to talk about for a while, but other things kept coming up, and so today I don't have anything else that I feel like is kind of, pressing. So I thought it would be good to talk about something that I struggle with. And I see it happen so much, and I see it happen in all different circles. I see it happen in Christian circles and non-Christian circles. Whole industries make money on this. It can be disguised as something very godly sometimes, but I think there's really a fine line between what I'm going to talk about, what it actually is, and what we sometimes like to pretend that it is. And the scripture I'm reading from is in the NIV, and it's from Proverbs 18, verses 7 and 8. And the NIV version says, "A fool's mouth is his undoing, and his lips are a snare to his soul. The words of a gossip are like choice morsels. They go down to a man's inmost parts." And then I read the Message version, which I love the Message version. It just packs a punch. So that one is, again, chapter 18, verses 7 and 8. "Fools are undone by their big mouths. Their souls are crushed by their words. Listening to gossip is like eating cheap candy. Do you really want junk like that in your belly?" That's the Message version. And unfortunately, I screwed it up, or it would have packed an even bigger punch. But the point was, when I got reading this, was I don't know if you've done this, and I hope this isn't one of the things that you struggle with like I do, but it's so easy to talk about someone else behind their back. And I'll be the first to say, if you're going to say complimentary things about me behind my back, that's awesome. I mean, there's almost no greater praise than to get a compliment secondhand, third hand, whatever. When someone says, "Oh, hey, I talked to so-and-so, and they just had such nice things to say about you," and you're like, "Oh my gosh, that's so nice." On the other hand, the thought of someone talking about me negatively behind my back is awful, and for a couple reasons. One, I hate the idea of knowing that they have something to talk about, that there's something in me, which obviously there is. There's something in everyone, but the realization that someone else has picked up on what that something is about you that is less than great and is now sharing that with someone else, it's embarrassing. If it's true, that's almost worse. I don't know if it's worse to have someone talk about you behind your back about something that's true or something that's not. If the true thing isn't flattering, I'm not sure. But in any case, it's embarrassing. And it's very humbling. And then it also can just absolutely destroy the trust that you might have with that person if you have a relationship with them. And then it brings a third party in to that whole situation, because now they're not only talking about you, but they've brought someone else in to the situation that they're talking about you to. So it can really destroy relationships, can ruin trust. And once you've lost trust like that, I don't know, anything can be rebuilt. God can heal and restore any relationship, obviously, but it's really difficult to do that, to trust someone after they have gossiped about you. So one of the ways that I see this happen a lot, and even with myself, is I'll say, I just need you to pray about something for me. I'll say this to someone, and then I'll, vomit on them about someone else. And it might genuinely be a prayer request, but it could have been a prayer request left at, "Please pray for me. There's a situation, and I'd really just love your prayer for wisdom and guidance and peace." End of story, done. But sometimes, often, I take it further and I'll say, I'll begin to laundry list all the reasons why I'm upset with that person or why I think there's an issue. And really what I'm trying to do is get validation. I'm really just trying to get support and feel like I'm not alone. A cheerleader, someone to champion me on in feeling like, I'm in the right a lot of the time. And so I see this destroy relationships. I see this destroy ministries, and I see it destroy groups. And so I'm really trying to be much more conscious of that. I want my friends and family to know, and actually anyone who I talk to, especially if they confide in me, I want them to have an assurance that when they talk to me, it is in confidence and that I'm not going to be blabbing about their lives to someone else, especially if there's a conflict. That's a really tricky one, and I'm still trying to learn how to navigate that one myself. If there is a conflict and you're not making any headway with the person that you have a conflict with and you're looking for some counsel and some wisdom, I think it's a really delicate road to navigate, to make sure that you are honoring all parties involved and not just seeking out someone who's going to champion you and your side and kind of stroke your ego and make you feel like you're on the right. So I don't have answers, just something I've been thinking about, something that, again, I struggle with. And I feel like I'm a pretty common, typical person. And so there's got to be some other people out there who struggle with this. So if you have scripture, if you have advice on how you've navigated that really delicate balance of gossip versus prayer requests or gossip versus seeking wisdom, I'd love to hear it. Absolutely. So that's my coffee time for today. I think it's much shorter than usual, but I just wanted to leave that with you, that we are just really prayerfully considering our relationships and the feelings of others before we decide we're going to talk about them to other people. If there's a conflict, Matthew 18 lays out guidelines on how we as believers are supposed to handle those conflicts, and it's one-on-one, going to that person directly, not involving anyone else, trying to handle it right there between the two of you so that it doesn't involve extra parties who can then end up having bad feelings toward either you or the other person. And if there's no resolution with the one-on-one, then we move on to bringing one other person into the situation. I would hope that would be someone who's trustworthy and wise and good counsel. And if there's no resolution from that, then you do bring it before the whole body. And so there's definitely the right way to handle these situations, and there's definitely the wrong way. And if it's not a conflict and it's just a case of you just want to talk about somebody, I guess what I've had to do is just really look at why. Why do I want to talk about those other people? What do I possibly gain by talking about the personal lives of person A with persons B or C? What do I gain from that? So it's just really a lot of looking inside yourself and trying to figure out how we can better use our words to build one another up instead of tearing one another down or, injuring our relationships. All right, on that, I hope you guys have a really wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you all next Thursday.